Jinbei finds out about the alliance. I like how the dot of the exclamation mark is the symbol for the Sun Pirates. So I wonder if that changes his plans. I wonder if that takes priority over what he was going to do. Actually help one of those Alabasta kitties find their way home. The first two sections of this chapter, the section with Sabo and then the section with King Riku, are basically there to allow Oda to do what he does in every single arc, which is to let Luffy take down the main villain. I mean, we knew that Fujitora was not going to get involved, which is why I thought, oh man, this is such a great thing that you have Fujitora and Sabo fighting. Well, the fight, pretty much, it doesn't get skipped, it just doesn't happen. And not only does it not happen, but Fujitora is like, I believe in Luffy too. And I'm like, okay, then why were you trying to hit his friends with some meteors early on in this arc? Why were you fighting Zoro? That, and then the Dressrosa citizens that were trying to capture Usopp and Violet and King Riku and all the people that were there, all of a sudden said, whoops, nope, sorry about that, no, we're cool. So yeah, I think those are the weakest aspects of this chapter. However, I do understand Fujitora's rationality for wanting Luffy to be the one to take down Doflamingo, because that way he doesn't have to get his hands dirty, and given the fact that Doflamingo is still a Shichibukai, he doesn't have to get involved with it. All he has to do is wait for Doflamingo to get his ass whooped, take some pictures, report on it, and because he's lost power, this doesn't look good for the Marines, and the Marines are kind of, okay, this guy has to lose his status. This is not good. Even though Moria lost, and he still maintained his status, but we know for a fact, after Marineford, we know for a fact that there's somebody up in the higher-ups of the Marines, or maybe the Tenryubito, that don't tolerate, they don't tolerate weakness within the realm of the Shichibukai. Because it's like, Moria got his ass whooped after that happened. Fujitora's best bet is to just let Luffy do his thing, and if Doflamingo gets defeated, he can use that as proof that the Shichibukai system is just not fucking working, which is one of the goals we know for sure he wants to accomplish. He wants to get rid of the Shichibukai system. Kind of like the same thing that happened with Crocodile. You had a very corrupt individual doing some shady things, but he had enough power and influence to keep doing them. Until a pirate kicked his ass, and then the Marines were like, okay, no, you gotta go to Impel Down. You've been doing some very shady things. Plus, you got your ass beaten by a pirate. It just doesn't look good. Now, I don't think that Doflamingo will be sent to Impel Down because he has some type of pull with the Tenryubito, but his future doesn't look good either way. Because if Luffy doesn't beat his ass, Kaido will. And this relates to a point that I want to make regarding the ending of this chapter. In the ending of this chapter, Doflamingo says, I want to destroy the world, okay? But if you remember in Punk Hazard, we learned from Monet that Doflamingo's goal was to become king of the pirates. So it's like, you want to become king of the pirates to be able to destroy the world? He is a character that's in limbo. He doesn't exactly fit in with the pirates, but he doesn't exactly fit in with the royalty either. To me, his goal makes sense, okay? And I'll talk about it more when I get into the flashback in a little bit. What I sort of question is, okay, so he wants to destroy the world, he wants to become king of the pirates, then why is he working under Kaido? Not only that, why is he providing Kaido with Smiley and these devil fruits that are allowing Kaido to become even more powerful? So it's just a matter of giving Oda enough time to explain things. What we also need to get out of this is like the knowledge that Doflamingo has when it comes to not artificial but real devil fruits. Because, well, first of all, how did he get Ace's devil fruit? And second of all, Treble actually says, oh, by the way, I know all about your ability law because we once wanted your devil fruit. So there's obviously some research that's been taking place. The fight is kind of like a stalling match at this point, which is something that Doflamingo just loves to do. He ties up Luffy. Obviously, well, it sucks because like Bellamy actually lands a hit on Luffy. You can see him bleeding, and then before that, I think Doflamingo uses armament hockey. I want to know, can Doflamingo's clone use armament hockey? I don't think so. And that could be one of the ways in which you can distinguish from the original and the clone. Anyway, Law gets pierced with some strings, and I've said this before, but I think he just removed his vital organs before the fight, and he's keeping them in storage. Because otherwise, how is Law still alive? Treble appears to be fucked up, but it's way too early in the fight for him to actually be counted out of the fight. In fact, I think the order in which they're going to be defeated is Diamante, Treble, Pika, and then Doflamingo. Now, when it comes to Doflamingo's backstory, I really liked it. I'm like, okay, now you got my attention. Because, and it's very biased and opinionated that I'm saying this, but I went through a similar situation. I'm not going to get into it. Obviously, I didn't have slaves or anything like that, but I went through a very similar situation. So if you take away the fact that Doflamingo was a spoiled brat, I find this incredibly relatable. Because, I mean, his situation happened when, I think he said, when he was 8 years old. Mine happened when I was 9. And it did come down to my dad calling the shots, okay? And I know that Doflamingo's dad had good intentions, okay? But at the same time, it's like, imagine you have this life and you grow accustomed to this environment, whether it's good or wrong. Forget about that, okay, for a bit. You get used to that. You have relationships. You have friends, in my case. And then this whole world just changes. It's like, it's gone. It's not there anymore for you. As a kid, you need some type of, a sense of security, some type of, habit, some type of routine that makes you feel secure. And so losing that, and not only that, but being then shunned out of that, and then trying to come back and saying, no, you can't come back here because your dad made a decision for you. Now you don't fit anywhere. It sucks. I can tell you that firsthand. It fucking sucks. So what this ends up doing, if you don't know how to handle it properly, is that you end up getting a very cynical view of the world, which is exactly what Doflamingo has. And he's just like, he can see both sides. Remember his speech in Marineford? It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, good guys, bad guys, fuck all that shit. But at the same time, it also allows you to value the people that stick by you, which is why in this chapter, we saw him. He was blocking the injection shot that Law was gonna fucking use to hit Treble with. Now I realize why Oda introduced Sabo in this arc. It's because, if you think about it, Sabo's story is the complete opposite of Doflamingo. Sabo's parents were like, no, you gotta stay here, you're a fucking noble, stay here. Okay? Sabo didn't want that. He said, fuck this shit. Okay? Whereas in Doflamingo's case, Doflamingo is like, I want to stay here, this is my life, I like it. His dad was like, no, we gotta get out of here. So I can't wait to see what happens next. I really like the way Koala interacts with Sabo when she's mad at him. It reminds me of what Nami sort of usually does with Luffy, like stretching out his face and stuff to try and help him get it, but he just doesn't get it. He's just like, well, my little brother was in trouble. Fuck everything else. Plus and minuses considered, I thought it was a good chapter of One Piece. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel to get more reviews. And like the review if you appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Bye.